I'm curious, one, how you're feeling, and two, were you expecting to play tonight? I don't think all of us were expecting to see you out there tonight.
Definitely. I'm definitely feeling a lot better. I felt good out there tonight. No pain level, no mental and physical restrictions. I think it was more of a game day decision and how I felt after shoot around. And we took a lot of precautions in whether or not to put me out there, and it was a lot of thought going into it. I ended up going out there because I felt good after shoot around, after the long workouts I had been through, even during the week, just trying to get some workouts here and there that I could. And now being out here, getting these workouts in and looking good. So I decided it was okay for me to step out there, and Dutch agreed.
And your shot looked good. You looked like you didn't miss much of a beat. Was it hard to kind of stay game ready, not being able to go on that knee? And do you feel like you're as ready to go as you were, or do you still have some ways to go here?
I think I still have a little bit of ways to go. But I definitely think that I'm always going to be game ready just because of the type of player I am. I heard Dutch earlier. If I had my way, I'd have played 40 minutes tonight. And that's just the type of player I am. I want to be out there on the court helping my teammates, trying to get a win. But I'm definitely proud of these guys for doing it without me and getting that hard-fought win on Friday and definitely today as well.
I just want to know what the last week and a half or so has just been like for you, and what that little rehab process was, and kind of being a student of the game, kind of observing for the first time in a while.
Yeah, it was definitely different for me, and not playing. This being my first time having to sit out because of an injury. So it was definitely different, but it allowed me to take a step back, become a student of the game, allowed me to help my teammates in a lot of different ways, and definitely pointing them in the right direction. Because I've been here, I've been doing it. Now this is my fourth year. But I'm definitely glad to be the player and not the coach at this time. I'm definitely glad to be back out there.
Did you learn anything, being on the bench that maybe you hadn't noticed before about these guys that stood out?
I think all that showed was that we have dogs on this team, but that's something I already knew. I don't think that's something that was enlightening to me. But it was definitely good to see these guys go at it. Adam, Terrell, Jordan, all these guys put the ball in the basket. Nathan. So I'm definitely happy for these guys, and I'm happy for them. But like I said, I'm glad to be back on the court.
So obviously your injury changes from day to day. You get a little bit better every day. From, let's say you were at what percentage on Friday to where you're at here post game, how is your knee feeling?
My knee feels great. No pain, no physical, mental restrictions. All that it is right now is I'm trying to get used to the brace. And so, like they said, it was a custom fit brace for me to wear during the game and for extra protection. So I don't re-injure it and risk a further injury even more. So it's definitely been different having the brace on, but I'm getting used to it, and I felt good today.
Have you ever played with a brace?
Never. I think maybe once when I tweaked my knee my freshman or sophomore year, but it was just in practice, and I definitely didn't wear it in the game.
What coach said that your injury was going to be a matter of pain tolerance. So but are you saying that you're not under any pain when you're out there?
No pain at all.
Good. It's great to hear. And then if you could reiterate, just you talked about being a coach and learning because you had that step back. Is there anything more specific maybe that you were able to pick up because you had that time on the side?
Definitely. Warming up for Air Force and coming out here and mentally preparing for the game. I had to know that I had to be ready to go some sort if I planned on playing that second game. So I definitely picked up a little bit on little spots you could find in their zone, maybe little weaknesses they had here and there to get these guys pulled off their spots and get you a couple shots. I found a couple shots in there in the middle and got a couple, airballed one, but got fouled on the other one. But it is what it is. It's a process in getting back. and I'm just here enjoying the process right now.
Those games when you were not playing, I mean, you were really, really active on the bench with teammates. Is this a career you might want to pursue, being a coach? I mean, you're more active than pretty much any veteran I've ever seen. I mean, pulling guys aside, pointing stuff out. Do you think one day you might want to be a coach?
I think so, yes. I think that's always just been in my blood. Basketball is always in my blood. But that's definitely that'll definitely happen when the ball stops bouncing for me. So I'll play basketball as long as I can, pick up as many things as I can, and then hopefully be able to teach some kids along the way when I'm done.
When you were sort of pulling guys aside and telling guys stuff, is there anything in particular that you maybe something you told one of the players and then you saw them do it in the game that made you feel particularly proud?
Yeah, definitely. Even today with the young guys, Keith and Shay, I just saw a different level of effort, intensity, alertness just on the court, and just trying to find where their guy is, because as a freshman, and a freshman especially that doesn't get a lot of minutes, it can be tough for you to just be expected to go out on the court and perform right away. So they had a little rough start on Friday. After the game on Friday, I talked to them again today before they went in, and they seemed to listen and pick things up really quickly. So moving forward in their years here, I feel that San Diego State will be in good hands. So I'm definitely proud of their alertness and intensity today and fight.
And last thing, just take us through your emotions when that three went in.
I was amazing. I was just glad to be back. Glad to have poured one in, second one in, and just get that feel back. I felt that I never lost a step in making shots in practice and in shoot around. And so it's always translated to the game for me, and been easier for me to just go out there and play because that's the type of player I am. I always want to be on the court. I always want to have competition. I'm just that big time competitor. That's just who I am. So it's definitely good to see that go in.
Obviously, he's been the starting lineup these past couple games. Tonight at 15 points. Could you talk about his game and the strides he's made since he's transferred?
Yeah, Terrell's a big time shooter, and it's been a different journey for him because he's coming here now, and he came from a program where he was a 4-year starter, I'm pretty sure, and now he's not starting, and maybe wasn't getting as many minutes as he was at CSUN. And now he's starting back in the starting lineup and pouring it in. And so he's always been the big time shooter. I know he has been playmaker as well, been able to get in the defense and make plays for Nate, get Jordan open because everybody knows he's a big time shooter. He's one of the best shooters in the nation, just as Jordan is. So these guys are dangerous guys, and I'm glad to have them on my team, and I'm not playing against them.
You seem to have a lot of more open looks in the half court than in some of the games recently. Did that have more to do with the new offense that was installed or the matchup zone that Air Force plays?
It was kind of both, the matchup zone that they play. They do a lot of switching, a lot of pointing. And if you move, like the offense that we put in allows us to move freely. And so just being able to move freely, a lot of times when guys drive in, the defense can get confused, and I was just able to move to open spots. But my teammates just did a great job of finding me when I was open. So.
And then seeing Matt come back and, kind of that he said it was during warmups that it was decided that he was going to be able to play. What kind of emotional lift does that give the team to see, one of the leaders be able to perform tonight?
Yeah, it was great to have a guy like Matt out there. He told me he was going to play earlier in the day, but it was just good seeing him out there, see it really happen, having a guy like that's been here for 4 years like I have. It's a guy that you can really rely on. He always produces, and more than that, he's just a great leader and a guy that you always want to be out there fighting with you.
And the last question for me, do you think that with some of the new elements of the offense that you're going to be able to build off of it? Coach said he wasn't sure yet, but what's your feeling on being able to build off some of the more ball movement and things that we saw the last 2 games?
I don't think anybody else will play the matchup zone like they play. I haven't seen anybody else in our league play that. So in terms of the offense that we run, I don't think we'll be able to carry over anything except what Coach Desch was saying, just the ball movement and our aggressiveness. But I think that started the second game at Utah State when we were just a lot more aggressive. So I think that just we can carry over our aggressiveness and ball movement. But in terms of the exact offense, I don't think so.
Second half and you airball, which is very rare for you, your first shot, and then you have 13 points in 4 minutes. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah. When you airball like that, you know, it might have used to take a toll on me, but when I watch these NBA games, you know, I see Steph airball a lot. And I mean, not a lot, but every time he just comes back and acts like it doesn't bother him. That's kind of just what you have to do. You know, the defense, the defense takes a breath when you're not aggressive. So, you know, we have a lot of guys on our team that can make shots. If anyone airballs, we're always saying, just keep shooting, you know. We shoot a high percentage, so we always count on the next shot going in, and that's kind of how you have to play. So that is part of the next play mentality for sure.
Is it a little bittersweet when you beat a team this well, you're so productive offensively, knowing that teams are going to watch this, and I know no one else plays a matchup zone, but just in terms of any zone, the teams probably are going to not want to play it against you. So is it, you know, you beat them so well that maybe you won't get to the zone again?
I don't think teams were gonna zone us. I wouldn't zone us, just the amount of shooters that we have on the floor and the amount of the aggressiveness that we've been playing with. So not really bittersweet. I think we were expecting a man from here on out, and it's happened before where teams have kind of tried to deny me the ball. So I've seen that before this season. So I've just been trying to get better at getting open in those situations.
What do you think went into you guys just shooting it so well from beyond the arc there?
I think it's just confidence, and we have just a lot of good shooters. Guys like, you know, Adam started the game extremely hot. Terrell started and finished the game extremely hot. So it's just guys like that. You know, we have a lot of good players that can shoot the ball. I'm looking now. Matt was 2 for 2 from 3 in his first game back. So it's just confidence, getting to the open spot. When we move and pass the ball like we did tonight in the matchup zone, we get a lot of open looks, and we were just able to knock them down.
I think people sometimes underestimate how hard it can be to play in Colorado Springs and out there against Air Force, and you guys made it look kind of easy in these 2 games. I mean, was it a lot more difficult than what you guys were able to show on the floor?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult here. Extremely difficult. It's something that you can't really tell people. I think they have to come up here and experience it. You know, I'm willing to bet a lot of people won't even be able to run up and down a couple of times. You know, they'll start experiencing what we feel. You know, it's a testament to Air Force and how in shape they are, because they run that offense at an extreme pace, and they don't seem to get tired. So we know what it is up here. It's extremely difficult to win, and only the teams that come up here really know what we're talking about.